Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing fine and you're all hopefully at the top of your preparation with just a couple of weeks to go for your preliminary examination. So, all the things that you have done over year and a half, probably 2 years, everything comes down to one day, 16th June 2024. Ideally, prelims should have been 2 days later, okay, as per the planning we had done last year. But due to the elections, the prelims was postponed, and you got a little bit of time extra for the preliminary examination. And let us now talk about how to maximize those extra 2 weeks that UPSC has given you, and how to enhance your performance in those 2 weeks and make most of it, and develop the right mindset for the next few weeks, and most importantly on the day of the exam, what are the things that you should do, and what are the things that you should not do. That is also important. And welcome to online students also who are joining me from various parts of the country. And yes, I'll keep on interacting with you as well via the chat here and the comment section. All right. So let me just take you through the agenda for the today's session. First, we'll start off by talking about the revision strategy for the next couple of weeks. After that, the elephant in the room, Csat, okay, which has become tough in the past couple of years, how you approach Csat. Then we'll talk about tests. You have given a lot of tests. So what should be the approach with respect to few more remaining tests in the days to come, and then how to make use of the last week that you have, how to make maximum utilization of that, and then what should be your strategy, what should be your mindset on the day that it all comes down to, right? 16th June, what you have been preparing for in the past 2 years, 1.5 years, it all comes down to one day, that is 16th June. And finally, we will share some tips on certain mindset building, like how to handle the stress, a little bit of uncertainty that comes with the exam. So that is all we are going to cover in this session, and we'll end the session with question and answers of both online students as well as offline students. Let us begin with revisions. Now, you will be beginning your last round of revisions, or you would have already begun in the preceding week. Now, the last round of revisions that you do, I am talking about your GS static subjects, should be effective, should be thorough, and most importantly, you should not waste any time on any subject or any topic per se. That means you have to be quick in your pace, because you have already studied these topics, studied these subjects multiple times. There is absolutely no point wasting your time too much on any single topic. Keep the revisions effective, keep the revisions thorough, and most importantly, the pace should be quick. I am not saying too fast, keep it a quick pace. And it is advisable that you spend more time on important subjects where writtens are more, where number of questions that are asked are more, such as polity, economy, science and tech, environment and ecology. You can spend that. And most importantly, in any subject, any topic, do not get stuck on any topic, waste too much time on any topic, be effective, be quick. Now, it is quite a common feeling that you are going to get during this last couple of weeks that you, let's say you are studying polity today, tomorrow also you studied polity, day after tomorrow you started off with ancient history or medieval history. While studying ancient history or medieval history, you will feel that you may be forgetting polity. And when you start geography, you may be like, okay, I have forgotten polity also, I have forgotten ancient history, medieval history, whatever subjects you have studied precedingly. It is quite a common feeling that your mind tells you that you have forgotten. Now, to address that, let me just tell you one thing. With effective revision, you will be able to recall 85% to 90% of what you have studied. You are all human beings. 100% is not going to be possible. That is not needed also. 10% of the things that you have studied, revised, will not come back. You will forget. That's human tendency. But trust me when I say this, your brain tells you, your brain tricks into thinking that you have forgotten the preceding subjects. You will not forget preceding subjects. It's just the brain tricking you. You will be able to recall 80 to 85, sometimes even 90% of the things that you have revised and revised effectively. So don't worry about the subject that you revised previously. Whichever subject you are revising, focus on that. Ultimately everything is going to come back to you, most of it that you have studied. Do not worry about forgetting things. Some things, some minor things you may forget, but most important things that matter in the exam, those are going to come back to you. Next, prioritize important topics, important subjects. Even in the subject, you be mindful of the topics that you are studying. Let's say you are studying polity. You have analyzed previous year questions. You know more often than not which areas, which topics, which subtopics are asked. So let your emphasis be more on that. Other topics also revise, but emphasize more on where you can be rewarded in the preliminary examination. The next thing is, do not study any new material, any new topic, any new subject from this point onwards, because there is simply no way that you will be able to revise that now. Time to study new things is over. It is the time to consolidate the things that you have studied in the past, and your priority should be consolidating those things that you have covered, revised. And if you run behind anything new, that means you will not be consolidating things, or you will not have time to consolidate things, topics, subjects that you have studied in the past few months. So it's okay if something is left out. That is a risk that you should be willing to take. Otherwise, that puts you in a bigger risk of not consolidating the studies, not consolidating the subjects, topics that you have studied in the past. थोड़ा बहुत छूट जाता है, ठीक है, right? Ideally, I think all of you would have studied all the important subjects, topics. Some minor peripheral topics or subjects might be remaining. Whatever is done now. The emphasis should be on capturing and consolidating the things that you have covered, and you can give as many revisions of those things possible. 1 revision, 2 revision, if possible 3 in the next few weeks. That's up to you, up your reading speed, the command that you have on the subject. But my suggestion is nothing new. Focus on consolidation. Time is for to consolidate. Next thing, I would recommend daily you keep aside 1 to 2 hours of stuff that you have to by heart. Each subject has certain facts, things that you have to by heart. For example, geography, places in news, mapping, polity, committees, reports, judgments, articles, amendments, economy again, committees, facts, ancient and medieval terms, and reports, indices. So there are these things that you should be by hearting, and daily keep 1 to 2 hours to by heart these things over and over again. Over and over again. Daily you have to keep that time reserved. Doesn't matter which subject, take one subject, this is the by hearting stuff. And do not by heart in a segmented manner. Let's say today you by hearted articles, tomorrow you are by hearting certain reports. No. Let's say today you by hearted articles. Tomorrow when you begin by hearting, you start by revising what you by hearted yesterday for first 10 minutes. So first 10 minutes of the next day should be the revision of the stuff you by hearted. Third day, first 2 days, what you by hearted. Because that's how you remember in a continuous motion of revision and by hearting. Because if you just do it in a segmented, one day one thing, second day another thing, third day one more thing, by the fifth day, first day thing will go out of your memory. Keep it in a loop. First day what you by heart, next day for the first 10 minutes by heart, revise that, then by heart new stuff. Next day, third day, first and second day combine. So keep it in a loop and give it a multiple this thing. And as the prelims approaches, the by hearting stuff can, the time allotted to the by hearting stuff can be increased based on your strategy. But my suggestion is from now onwards, at least 1 to 2 days to by heart all the factual stuff that you have noted down, that things that requires last moment by hearting. Some mnemonics you have made, places in news, countries surrounding those places in news. Ensure that you start by hearting now. Now is the time to, all those rattofying stuff, jo ratta marna hai aapse, but effective ratta marna hai, not in a segmented way. Next day when you begin, revise previous day. Third day, first 2 days ka revision. Fourth day, first 3 days ka revision. Revise that effectively. And this will take care of your static subjects. Right? So static subjects will be taken care here. Now, one thing I was telling you people, do not run behind any new knowledge. I just want to explain why using this image. If you can have a look at the image here, you see the first image. In the above image, there is a rat. It's continuously running, it's continuously consuming information. That means there is no effectiveness because it is not reading the end goal. And many of the aspirants, especially the freshers, do this, where they continuously consume information without focusing on the end goal. This is the preliminary examination. This is the actual exam, the cheese here. And this is the preparation phase, especially the last 2 weeks. By continuously consuming new sources, especially in the last moment, you are going in circles. You are not going to your destination. But by taking action on the knowledge you possess, that means you have studied over the past year and a half, probably more. And when you take action on the knowledge that you possess, that brings you closer to the goal. Because if you have studied effectively over past year and a half, you will all have knowledge across all subjects, across all topics. The thing what I have seen with especially the freshers is they do not trust their knowledge enough to take action on that knowledge. And that is a common mistake seen across aspirants, especially the freshers. So trust on your knowledge and take action on your knowledge to reach this. in your preliminary examination. Otherwise, if you continuously keep consuming information, that is not going to take you anywhere. You'll just keep on going in circles and circles. It is time to trust your knowledge that you have accumulated over past year and a half or two. Nobody else's, your knowledge. And you have to believe that with that knowledge you will be able to reach here. But if you run, especially in this last few weeks, more knowledge, usko padna hai, which you have not studied before. Use that knowledge that you have studied before, and instead of running in circles, make it step by step. Get yourself organized. That will lead you to your preliminary examinations success, God willing. All right. So let us now talk about CSAT. Right? I know many of you, okay, have had troubles with CSAT in the past, in the present, and the number of people who are having trouble with CSAT in the past and the present are increasing. Now, what should be your strategy for CSAT? Now, there are two types of aspirants here. The first set, those who are comfortable with CSAT, largely comfortable with CSAT, and second set, where CSAT is a big issue for them, who are having troubles with CSAT. Comfortable lot, the troubled lot. So, two different strategies for the people in either the comfortable slot or the troubled slot. You decide where you are. Okay, with your mock tests that you have done, your level of comfort, your level of confidence, you will know which you belong to, comfortable or troubled. But just do not lie yourself. If you are in the troubled slot, thinking that you are comfortable, or if you are in comfortable, do not overthink that you are in the troubled slot. First, identify which slot you belong to. Comfortable slots are the people who have been consistently scoring 75, 80 plus in your mock tests, and you have good hold over quant, your logical reasoning, and your reading comprehensions. And if at all you have given any previous attempts, you have cleared CSAT comfortably, or at least by 75 plus marks, not in the border, 75 plus in the past couple of years. These are the comfortable lots. The troubled lots are the ones who could not clear CSAT if at all you have given a previous attempt, or in your mock test you are not been able to consistently perform well, or you are not crossing the cutoff, or just you are in the border, cutoff border, and you are having fear of CSAT. If you are having fear of CSAT, then you definitely belong in the troubled lot. Now, for those who are comfortable with CSAT, you can practice mildly. Daily, 1.5 to 2 hours, you can practice CSAT. Please do not ignore it, whether you are comfortable or troubled. Practice. Doesn't matter what your background is, whether you are from engineering background, science background, commerce background, arts background, IITians. No, I have seen people, IITians flunk in CSAT in past couple of years. Do not risk. Even if you are comfortable, daily practice 1.5 to 2 hours of CSAT. And when I say practice, not just maths, that is quant part, or logical reasoning, or your critical reasoning, or your passages. It should be a mix of everything. Do not keep your eggs in a single basket, that is either reading comprehension or quant or logical reasoning. It will be very risky to do so. Ensure that you diversify your studies by practicing CSAT holistically, that is quant, logical reasoning, as well as your reading comprehensions. One more thing is, PYQs are a gold mine here, especially for CSAT, even for GS. GS PYQs I will come in a bit, but for CSAT, PYQs are a gold mine, especially 2020 prelims onwards. 2020, 2021, 2022 and 2023. These 4 years prelims CSAT paper are like a gold mine. Keep on solving at least 5 to 10 MCQs per day. and you solve them in a time bound manner, right? You have to solve them in a time bound manner. And one more thing which I want you guys to do while solving any sort of CSAT is identify. What should you identify? You should read the question, and by reading the question, especially I am talking about the quant questions, while reading the question, you should be able to identify whether you will solve this question within 1.5 to 2 minutes, whether it will take more than 3, 4, sometimes even 5+ minutes to solve. Because many people are flunking in CSAT not because they did not know the techniques, it's because of poor time management. And many people think that time management with CSAT happens in the actual exam, but the preparation for time management in the actual exam starts now. By identifying, you see the question, you should know if you will be able to solve that question within less than 2 minutes, sometimes even quicker in 30 seconds, 40 seconds, or this is going to take you time, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. If the answer is, if it's taking too much time, then it should be kept for later. It should not be attempted in the first round. And this will only happen in the actual exam if you start doing it now. When you solve PYQs, first look at it and then mentally say, okay, I can solve this in 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, maximum of 2 minutes. Then actually give and solve it, PYQs or even your mock tests. Doesn't matter whether if it's PYQs or your mock test. Solve. Keep a mental calculation of how much time will you take, and then you will see what time did you estimate it and what time did you actually take, whether it is more than estimated or it is less than estimated. If it's 10 to 15 seconds or 20 seconds more than the time you estimated, then it is okay. 15 to 20 seconds is okay, but anything more than that, that means you are not being able to identify the question properly. Because I am telling you again, many people flunk in CSAT not because they don't know the formulas or the way to solve it. It's because they are unable to manage the time effectively. They are spending time in questions that require a lot of time and missing the low hanging fruits. See, ultimately out of 80 questions in CSAT, there are going to be 25 questions at least that you can solve easily across all the topics, that is quant, that is logical reasoning and reading comprehensions. At least 25 questions will be there where you will be able to solve them with minimal effort, and that too with a greater degree of accuracy. You cannot miss a single question of those 25, because those are the lowest hanging fruits in your preliminary examination. And how to maximize those lowest hanging fruits, that will come by now identifying if you will be able to solve it. And many people have failed to do so. Whether or not will they be able to solve the given question that they are attempting, and they will spend way too much time on things that are taking too much time. Let's say you started a problem, quant question. You thought that you will be able to solve it easily in a short span of time. Let's say it took 4 minutes, 5 minutes. You are getting there, you are almost getting there. And then you're like, okay, brain is telling you are almost there, do not quit. Then you invested one more minute. So 6 minutes. And now you are in a serious dilemma. Should I continue? Should I go? And in that dilemma, in that stress, some mistake you do in calculation, something. And then you get an answer which is not there in any of the 4 options. And then you are like banging your head, stressing out, even just sitting in the examination hall because you could not identify. Happens, but do not let it happen to you. But just in case it does happen, do not break your head at least. हो सकता है, try and avoid it to the best possible extent by identifying. Sometimes happens, okay, it's not the end of the world in CSAT at that point of time. हो गया, don't sit and like कहाँ गलत गए, नहीं, go other, end में, अंत में अगर time बचा तो you can come back to that at the end. Do not, okay, मैंने 6 मिनट 5 मिनट 4 मिनट इन्वेस्ट कर दिया इसमें, इसको मैं सही करके रहूँगा, प्लीज डोंट डू दैट. यू गेव, इट डिड नॉट, इट्स नॉट वर्किंग आउट एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, सो क्या करेंगे, देखेंगे एंड में अगर टाइम बचता है तो. सो दिस स्मॉल लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट्स उस चक्कर में मिस नहीं होने चाहिए. सो स्टार्ट आइडेंटिफाइंग योर स्ट्रेंथ्स. देखते पता चल जाएगा, प्रैक्टिस, इफ यू प्रैक्टिस एडिक्वेटली, देखते पता चल जाएगा दिस थिंग. एंड most of the times you will be right. Sometimes you may overestimate it or underestimate it, but most of the times you will be right. And the thing is, if you are in the comfortable lot, I don't want any complacency from your end. CSAT has become tougher in the past 4 years. This year also, it's natural to expect a difficult paper. So, no complacency whatsoever. Put adequate amount of time, 1.5 to 2 hours per day, based on your strengths and weaknesses. This is for the comfortable lot. Some of these strategies are even for the troubled lot, but specifically talking to you people, those of you who are sort of not that confident when it comes to your paper 2, that is CSAT. First thing here is, I will start with the bottom, number 5. Do not panic whatsoever. Remember, it is a qualifying paper. At the end of the day, you need 66.67. So it is qualifying. Do not panic, because if you panic now, if you overstress now, actual exam it's not going to work out well for you. Now, if you are not comfortable with CSAT, you can easily invest at least 4 hours per day. If it's too weak, you can invest more time as well per day for CSAT. Because GS, I'll talk about the subjectivity of GS in a while. As you all know, in past 2 years, it is very subjective. Cutoff is 75 last year. And one of the reasons why cutoff has fallen so low is because many people have flunked in CSAT. So if you feel that you are in the trouble a lot, minimum 4 hours you can invest per day. You can increase it even to 5. Take a call, but at least invest 4 hours per day, covering almost all topics, including same PYQ solve karne, and most importantly guys, identifying. Because if you are from the comfortable lot, I think you, to a great degree, you will have command over identifying. If you are in the troubled lot, your major issue will be identification. Identifying whether you are going to solve this question in 30 seconds, 50 seconds, 5 minutes, or you will spend 5 minutes without getting an answer. So work on that technique of identifying without panic, and I am telling you, do invest at least 4 hours per day. Do invest 4 hours per day. Upper limit is up to you. Revise GS effectively revision, that will keep on going, because GS cutoff is going to be very subjective. So work on CSAT, because if you do not clear this, doesn't matter the cutoff goes high or low, you are not in the race at all. So invest up time. Do not think CSAT karne se GS छूट जाएगा. GS you have already studied. Yes, you will study continuously for the next few weeks. But if you ignore CSAT, especially if you are in the troubled lot, then it will be a strategic mistake. Aram se 4 hours. If you want to invest more also, good. But I want you to have a good hold over identifying the questions across the topics, especially quant. ये quant में ही सबसे ज़्यादा time waste होता है, because तुम्हें लगता है कि ये बन जाएगा, you start working on it and then you take way too much time. In this reading comprehensions, critical reasoning, assumptions, inferences, time लग रहा है, so you'll apply some technique and at least finish off and go. सही गलत बाद में देख लेंगे, but you will at least mark and go. But especially in the quant question and even the logical question, P is sitting next to S, R is wearing green color shirt, right? So those questions take time. So you have to identify, will you be able to solve that quickly? Because I don't think in reading comprehensions, yes, sometimes that may also take time. That may also take time, but not as much as quant or logical reasoning. So identify, because I am pretty sure if you have worked on CSAT, solving the question is not a problem, but solving the question in that 2 hours and clearing the cutoff is the problem that you are facing. If the same paper you had 4 hours, you will solve all the questions or most of the questions, and most of the questions rightly. So just summing up here, if you are in the comfortable lot, do not ignore, practice adequately and work on identification. If you are in the troubled lot, if you are having issues with CSAT, or if you have not cleared CSAT in the previous attempt, work and work more. Dedicate at least 4 hours per day for CSAT and try and make identifying which problem is you can solve, which problem will take more time, and implement that in the actual exam, where you solve the easier ones first, where you can solve it with a greater accuracy but with a shorter amount of time, and the questions that will consume time in the next round. Okay. So this is with respect to CSAT. Now with respect to CSAT, given the nature how the paper has been in the past couple of years, I would like to teach you a small technique that will help you if you are in the border, like if you are in the border of the cutoff. This technique will help you. Now before I teach you this technique, 2 conditions I have for you. First, you are not going to directly attempt this in the actual exam. You are going to implement that in the upcoming step-up tests or your mock tests. Okay. Do not directly go to the exam and attempt it. Implement in the upcoming step-up, which is on step-up 2nd June. Okay. We have step-up next set of last step-up on 2nd June, right? Yeah. Implement that and in your mock tests. And second thing, do not deliberately try and make this happen. If it's happening naturally, this technique, if it's happening naturally, then only you go for it. Alright. So these 2 conditions: do not directly attempt in the actual exam, implement that in your mock test and step up, and then do not deliberately try and make it happen. Naturally hone do. So what is this technique? Now this is how you have to analyze this. CSAT cutoff is 66.67, that is the minimum. Anything above that you are passing CSAT. Let's say you attempted 33 questions in 2 hours. 33 is actually a risk, you should try and attempt more than that. We are speaking hypothetically here. If you attempted 33 questions, to clear CSAT you need 29 correct. 29 correct have to happen and 4 can be wrong. 29 plus out of 33 should be correct. If you attempted 34 questions, to clear CSAT you again need 29 correct and 5 can be wrong. So 29 plus again here. If you attempted 35, 29 correct, 29 plus correct, 6 can be wrong, and if you attempted 36, again 29 correct, 7 could be wrong. So from 33 to 36 you need 29 plus correct. Same, if you attempted 41, to clear CSAT you need 31 correct, and if you attempted 44 also you just need 31 correct. So from 41 to 44 you need 31 correct. Similarly, if let's say you attempted 53, if you have attempted 53, out of 53 34 plus should be right, and if you attempted 56 also 34 should be right. So it is advisable that when you solve CSAT, you attempt the questions which end in multiples of 4, 36, 40, 44, nearest multiple of 4, 48, 52, 56. Because even if you attempted 37, you need 30 right. Even if you attempted 40, you need 30 right. Let's say in the actual exam, you attempted 41. So to clear cut off, you need 31 correct. Even after that, you attempt 3 questions randomly. Number of questions to be right is 31 itself. You attempted 3 questions, उसमें से एक भी सही हो गया, you never know, it can, especially if you are in the border, it can make a hell lot of difference. अगर 3 के 3 भी गलत होते हैं, so you will not be under loss, because for 41 questions also to clear CSAT you need 31, for 44 also you need 31. But when you are using this, do not artificially try and 40 हो गए, एक और अटेम्प्ट कर लेता हूँ, उसके बाद 3 रैंडम करूँगा, वो वैसा मत कीजिए. Do it if it happening naturally. How do you do this? How do you get it to the nearest multiple of 4? When 5 minutes is remaining in paper 2 CSAT, count the number of questions and count it from the OMR sheet. How many you have marked? Right? So how many you have marked? I have taken a sample OMR sheet from the step up. This is recent step up OMR sheet. This guy has attempted I think around 37 questions. So you counted 5 minutes are remaining, you are at 37. Okay. Now 5 minutes is remaining. Remember, that is also very important time. Go to the OMR sheet and pick up one question which you are 100% sure that you have solved it right. And after that question, there should be a gap. See, यहाँ इसने किया है, इसके बाद एक gap है. Generally CSAT का पेपर है, OMR sheet ऐसे ही लगता है. Mocks में आपने देखा होगा. There will be sections 4, 5, 5, 6, 3, 4 आपने एक भी attempt नहीं किए होंगे. Like यहाँ पे इसने कुछ attempt नहीं किया और यहाँ पे नहीं है and then यहाँ पे नहीं है इस section. So pick a question that you are 100% sure you are right. And after that there is a gap of 4 or 5 questions that you have not attempted in a series. ठीक है? Let's say 29 क्वेश्चन जिसने इन्होंने अटेम्प्ट किया है, that's 100% right, the option is D. उसके बाद अगला क्वेश्चन उन्होंने अटेम्प्ट किया है 36, so बीच के क्वेश्चंस he has not touched. So he has attempted 37, which is the next nearest multiple of 4 after 37, 40. So 3 more questions he can attempt. So immediately after this, choose 3 questions that you will attempt. 30, 31, 32 and pick an option apart from D. D छोड़ के कुछ और. Because the probability of either one of the 3 being right is more. It can work, it cannot work. If it works, amazing. If it doesn't work, no loss. Let's say you go either with A, B or C. But remember, do not mark it yet. Choose and keep it. Okay? Just in case nothing works in the next 4 minutes, I am going to come back. Just exactly last 10-15 seconds is remaining. You mark either 30, 31, 32, either A, B or C. भगवान का नाम लो. Okay? अच्छे से 3-4 बार और एक ही ऑप्शन मार्क करना है. Either A for all the 3, B for all the 3, C for all the 3. If he had attempted 38, then mark 2. Same option. अगर 39 probability बहुत कम होती है उसकी, mark any one. Right? So select and go. In the last 5 minutes, count properly. Remember, count once, count twice. Because अगर आपने गलती कर दी counting में, if you do mistake in counting, this all will go out for a toss. That will be a big blunder. Because little bit of nerves will be there, panic रहेगा थोड़ा बहुत. Don't. Calmly, OMR sheet से you know how many I have done and note it down and select the area that you will attempt. Just in case in the next 4 minutes you are unable to solve the questions. Select, go off. Do not mark it now. Do not mark now. Try and solve as many questions as possible in the next 4 minutes that are remaining. अगर naturally 40 बन जाता है, no need of doing this. Let's say you are able to solve one question, remaining two you can mark 30 and 31 either A, B or C. 39 बन जाता है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 30 को A, B और C में कुछ और कर सकते और D भी कंसिडर कर सकते हो बिकॉज डजेंट मैटर. नेचुरली 40 बन जाते हैं, नो नीड ऑफ ट्राइंग दिस एट ऑल. लेट्स से एक भी नहीं बनता है, कम हियर 30, 31, 32 और हियर 41, 42, 43 okay or here 59, 60, 61 wherever. Pick the option that is not there not marked in the previous question which you are 100% sure. Remember, whenever you start the series you should be sure that this is 100% the right option. That will give you a more chance of this being correct. This technique will be more rewarding. And mark and do pray कि एक तो सही हो जाए. If it's naturally happening, no need. Okay, first only do not mark it 5 minutes before. Select the area because do not wait for last 1 minute to count because उस time पे panic होता है and you may end up miscounting. So 5 to 6 minutes before, count and keep. And select the area that just in case you are not reaching the multiple of 4 where you are going to mark it. Okay, keep that and then start solving, continue solving. And then at the end, we know na, examiner will say time up. Just you have selected the area, just go there. And remember, after counting, do remember what additional questions that you mark on the OMR sheet. Let's say 37, you solved one more, you should remember that you are at now at 38 attempts. Let's say you solved two more, you should know that you are at 39. Okay, and if you have any sort of doubt, hesitation that you will not be able to pull this off, do not try this. Right? So again I am repeating, this should be done by implementing this in the upcoming mock test and step up. Properly 2 hours ka time deke, when you do step up or you do your mock test, try this. Try coming to the nearest multiple of 4. Nearest multiple of 4. Up 37 or do not take it to 44. That will backfire. Nearest multiple of 4. Okay, if it's happening naturally, well and good. अच्छा है. अगर नहीं हो रहा है, then you can try this. Do not directly attempt this in the exam, and do not deliberately try to make it happen. And count the number of questions attempted 5 to 6 minutes before, not at the last moment, because you need to count this properly, that how many you have attempted, and do count from the OMR sheet, not from the ones which you have marked in the question paper. OMR sheet में count कीजिए, and then decide which area you want to this thing. And especially you have to choose an area where you have not attempted in a series. And if you are marking 3, same options, and the preceding question where you are starting should be, you should be 100% sure that that is the right option. अगर नहीं होता भी, you can still attempt, but if 100% sure, then other options being right, the probability increases. It's all about probability. CSAT का probability हम इसको ऐसे technique को to generate luck we are going to try, and this will work only if you execute it properly. So do not risk it. Do not take unnecessary risks. Clear about this, right? So from 57 to 60, 35 should be right. So always try to finish CSAT in the nearest multiple of 4. Right? So this technique is clear, nearest multiple of 4, and I am telling you again, directly do not jump and implement this. Upcoming step ups, you have to work on that, and once after working on that, you will realize how it's working for you, and then you will be able to implement that in the actual exam. Now let us talk about one more important issue, and one more area where a lot of you will have a lot of reservations and concerns. Current affairs का क्या करना है sir? इतना पढ़ रहे हैं, सालों से पढ़ रहे हैं, it seems endless. It is actually endless, right? So indeed it is actually endless. So what should be your strategy for current affairs? Do not over prioritize current affairs. जो कुछ भी आपने पढ़ा है आज तक, revise that. Do not go overboard with current affairs. See, current affairs के questions tough ही आएंगे. It's the static that will matter most. So I have told you, static revision पे ज़्यादा focus कीजिए. Current affairs, whatever you have studied it, same as I told for static, consolidate that. Do not waste too much time on current affairs, and do not start anything new at no cost. Like static, you should be starting anything new, and you have to keep that limited. Because if you are starting anything new, then there is no way you will be able to revise things that you have already covered, or revise that thing that you have already studied. And if you feel that you have not adequately studied current affairs, it's okay. जितना पढ़ा है उसी को रिवाइज कीजिए. Do not let current affairs hold you hostage. Yes, current affairs should be studied. You have studied. जितना आपने पढ़ा है उसको आप रिवाइज कीजिए. बस अगर थोड़ा बहुत कमियां रह गई है करंट अफेयर्स में, you are not able, especially if you are a fresher, you would not have been able to get a good hold on current affairs. It is okay at this point of time. Now is not the time to study anything new. And please cut out all the noise of current affairs, because now is the time जब market में आते हैं 1000 most important topics, 500 most important topics, 777 most important topics for prelims. Yeah, they can be important. The questions can be asked, but will you be able to study that and revise? Most probably not. Okay, जो कुछ भी बन रहा है ठीक है. Do not go behind any sort of material. Remember the image I showed you, the mouse wala. Okay, do not continuously consume the information. Take action on the questions that, the knowledge that you have already accumulated. Because now is the time where, especially in places like Delhi, even in Bangalore also, okay, where strange things come into the market, like 100,000 topics, 777 topics, 100 topics, some people, 50 topics, kuch bhi ho jaye, okay. Yes, some topics are important and you would have already studied most of the topics. Just because, let's say you looked at 100 topics, most important topics, उसमें से 75 topics you have studied, 25 topics you have not studied. Do not run behind those 25 topics. FOMO हो जाता है, fear of missing out. अरे 25 में से आ गए. Yeah, there can be a chance. Questions आ सकता है. I'm not telling it will not come. But उस 25 topics के चक्कर में अगर 75 आपने revise नहीं किए, जो आपने already पढ़ चुके हैं from various sources, then that will be the blunder that you are committing. So do not, okay, do not have this fear of missing out. And also, लोग गजब strategies आते हैं, YouTube से वीडियो आते हैं, like watch this 5-hour video to get 160 plus in GS. I think 2 years back some madam had done that video. I mean, लोगों के 60 नहीं आ रहे यार यहाँ पे, and then you are claiming that watch that video can get 160 plus in prelims. And there is so much subjected in prelims. We as institutes, when we prepare our answer key, there is a difference between actual UPSC answer key and coaching institute answer key. Despite the fact that we are the subject experts, we refer to internet, we refer to books, we discuss, debate, and then somebody is claiming for 2 hours पे you can get 160 plus. People are crying to get 60 plus. ऐसे फालतू के videos पे time बर्बाद मत कीजिए. Your self study is of very, very, very important. Okay. It's about your self-study that you have to put in the next few weeks. No need of new material, no need of new techniques or strategies. Work on things that you are building. Minor tweaks you can do, nothing radical. I'll talk about the strategy in the test section. So minor tweaks are okay, but do not go too radical. Do not change your approach, and most importantly, do not run behind new material, new things that may come up in market when you do not have time, especially at this nth moment. That's not at all advisable. and do not run behind radical strategies. Work नहीं होते हैं. Tried and tested strategies will only work. Right? This is with respect to current affairs. Let me now come to your mocks. With respect to mocks, 1 to 2 more rounds, even 3 to 4 more round of full length tests. Only full length tests now. Ideally, you should have already started giving full length tests. If not, now. At least 2, maximum of 4 full length tests. That is both GS as well as CSAT. Now, and you have one more step up there on 2nd of June. Now, when you are giving this full length tests, give the full length tests like actual exam. Utilize every minute properly GS, because when we are giving mock test, especially for GS, हम 1 hour में 1 hour 15 minutes में खत्म कर देते हैं. Don't do that. Like how you will actually execute in the exam, same strategy आपको implement करनी है. You have to implement that in your last set of tests. At least 2, maximum of 4. You can give even 5 full length tests, both GS and CSAT. And when you are doing so, exact strategy develop करनी है. First round में आप कौन से attempt कर रहे हो? The 100% sure short ones. Second round में the ones that you are sort of arrived at elimination 50-50 ones. And third round में the little riskier ones where you are taking that additional calculated risk, where you know one option and using that option you are trying to arrive at the answer. So strategies of how do you actually solve on 16th June for both GS and CSAT have to be started to be implemented in the last round of tests. And doesn't matter whether you are coming to the center or you are taking online or you are solving it at your home. Exact, clock it 2 hours, and you can do the actual UPSC timings, 9:30 to 11:30 and 2 to 4. 2 to 4 or 2:30 this time? 2:30, right? 2:30 to 4:30. The same, like single day, both GS and CSAT for the next set of tests, full length tests that you give, and proper strategy. Like I told the nearest multiple of 4 वाला strategy, उसको implement कर दीजिए आप. GS में how you are taking calculated risk, उसको. Scores at this point of time भाड़ में जाए, doesn't matter. अच्छा है, खुश हो जाओ, बुरा है, गम ना करो. It's not the end of the life. Because I have told you there is lot of subjectivity in UPSC preliminary examination. And subjectivity in the answer keys we prepare. Ours was one of the highest accuracy, topmost accuracy in the country. But still we were 10 questions short than UPSC. So scores doesn't matter. As long as you are learning, fine. And do not sit and over-analyze. Previously we used to tell, analyze करो पेपर को full. अभी just कुछ लगा पढ़ना है, उसको पढ़ लीजिए. कुछ रिवाइज करने लायक लग रहा है, रिवाइज कर लीजिए. Otherwise it's fine. And do not dwell upon mock tests too much. Like जैसे mock test में आप कर रहे हो, एक concept आ गया, टॉपिक आ गया जिसको आपने पढ़ा नहीं है. Do not take that as a reference to study something, to enable further knowledge. Don't, because this paper is set by us or some other coaching institutes. That's what not UPSC going to follow, because a paper setter will have his own areas that he is trying to focus in that mock test. So do not take mock test as a gospel for the areas that you are strong at and the areas that are weak at, especially the last set of tests. Whatever was done previously that highlighted your strengths, highlighted your deficiency, not the last couple of tests. Just give it like a mock test. Focus should be on execution. Execution, how you will replicate this mock test execution in the actual exam, not on the reading into the scores or looking too deep into the topics. कुछ topics को देखना है, glance करना है, कर लीजिए, चलेगा. But do not use mock tests as a reference to identify your deficiencies and strengths at this point of time. That time is over. अब तक हो रहा था, चलेगा. अब से नहीं, not anymore. better to start doing PYQs. Why PYQs? First thing, most of the PYQs you have already analyzed, solved. When you solve it, it will give you a sense of confidence. अरे सही हो रहा है यार, क्योंकि मॉक टेस्ट का इट्स अ डबल एड स्वॉर्ड, कभी ऊपर जाएगा कभी नीचे जाएगा, कभी खुशी कभी गम. इसमें बस खुशी होगी because most of the PYQs you will know, and it's good. It's a good exercise to build confidence, and most importantly, जो UPSC language use करती है, the language that UPSC uses, because each institutions will have a content team who prepare the paper, and their language will be different. Yeah, we'll try and as closely as possible go for UPSC standards, but 100% नहीं होता है. I'll be very honest with you. So when you solve previous year questions, you are internalizing UPSC language, and try and use the actual UPSC question paper. Like print out होगा या soft copy होगा, actual UPSC question paper को देखिए. So the font, जो UPSC use करता है font, वो भी आपको आदत पड़ सकती है. Print out लीजिए या soft copy, doesn't matter. Just let's say you start from last year's prelim question, 15 question, 20 question, 30 question, analysis नहीं करने. Okay, question number 1, option number C, सीधा आंसर की C, बस. If at all you have to see anything extra, you can just glance why it was right, why it was wrong. Deep analysis नहीं चाहिए. Just see right option, wrong option. If it's a wrong option, see which is the right option. This is primarily to make you internalize the pattern of UPSC. The language, first of all, language is very important. Font, and what they highlight, they say which of the following is incorrect, which is not. So are they highlighting it? Anything that is coming in inverted commas, how are the options? Because if you have solved insights tests like 35, 40 plus, you would have sort of gotten adapted to insights ka psyche of the content team. And with that psyche, you will just look at the options, because if I am setting a paper, if I set 35 prelims papers, I will always have a pattern of framing the options. And if you have solved those 35 questions, you will understand the pattern, and आपको कुछ भी पता नहीं रहेगा उस क्वेश्चन के बारे में, बस ऑप्शन देख के आप सही पता लगाओगे. वो एक्चुअल एग्जाम में वर्क नहीं करेगा. So you need to break that now and use PYQs. Solve mock test 3 to 4, at least 2. If you want to go for 5, be my guest, but do it 9:30 to 11:30. Hall tickets are out? Not yet, right? Okay, आ जाएंगे I think एक हफ्ते में. 9:30 to 11:30, 2:30 to 4:30 slots में, and ensure that you start adapting to what the UPSC language is, and start adapting to what the nature of questions. You can also go and glance at, do not analyze. CDS के questions जो हैं, CAPF, if at all you want to glance it, you can just glance it. Do not analyze. There is no time to analyze. Preferably previous 5 years का question papers from 2019 to 2023, or even beyond that you can go. Start from latest. Daily 15 questions, 20 questions. Not spending more than half an hour on that. And it will help you boost your confidence, and most importantly it will help you internalize the psyche of the UPSC question paper. And diversify now. Diversify. Like, just don't depend on one institute. When you're solving the last couple of lines, you can go one step up and couple of other institutes, or at least one more other institutes. As I was telling, if you have solved 35 plus tests of any institute, you will internalize their trends, and you may not know the answer, because that used to happen to me when I used to prepare. I will not have any idea about the topic. I will just see the option, the nature of options that are set, and and that would be the right answer. But that will not work in UPSC, because UPSC is an entirely different ball game set by entirely different persons. Okay, and also do refer to the official answer key provided by UPSC when you are solving the PYQs. PYQs only for confidence and internalizing the psyche. Just to recap with respect to mocks here, 2, maximum of 4 to 5, minimum 2, 4 to 5. Do it in the same 9:30 to 11:30 slot and 2:30 to 4:30 slot, and do not take a single minute extra. If preferable, and if possible come to the institute and solve like an actual exam. Okay, if it is possible. If you are preparing from home, if you have not any option, then imagine that you are sitting in an examination hall and do that. But if it's possible for you, come here, come sit here and solve. And not a single minute extra, not a single minute less. You have to implement that like you are solving the actual exam, and that should be replicated on 16th June. And scores do not matter. अच्छा है खुश हो जाओ, नहीं अच्छा है गम ना करो, it's okay. It's no more a reflection of your performance. होता है. And then PYQs, as I was telling for CSAT, here also PYQs are a gold mine. Okay, refer to that, solve them, it will boost your confidence and help you internalize. All right. Now, coming to the last week approach, like post 7th, 8th June, okay, what should be your approach in the last week? 3 actions are needed: study, rest, mindset. First, we'll talk about what actions you should take as part of your studies. In the last week, only the important topics. Okay, study and revise the important topics. And last week is not the time to push yourself too much. पिछले 1 साल से 1.5 साल से आपने पापड़ बेले हैं, enough. Now is the time to start focusing on the performance part, how you will perform on 16th May, where you do not push beyond your limits. I would say not more than 7 hours of study in the last week, 7 to 8 hours. If you want to study more, it's your call, but do not push yourself beyond your limits. I'm talking about the exact last 1 week. Pushing now till the last week you can push on whatever you have been doing, but last week start, studying moderately. Revision of important topics, do not waste a single minute on non-important topics. And again, the facts that I told you earlier, start giving more time to cramming up of facts. जो रट्टा मारने को topics रहते हैं, the things that you have to by heart, those topics, little bit more emphasis because you are nearing the exam and you are starting from now only, but there more emphasis. And again, I am telling you, do it in a loop, in a cyclical manner. Do not do it segmented. When you are starting the day for cramming up the facts, always revise previous few days ka what you have crammed up and then go to the new topics. And by the time you come in the last week, I think you would have already crammed up most of the facts. It will be just revising those facts that you have crammed up. And facts, there are going to be a few facts that you will forget. And also I have told you that psychological thing of I have forgotten everything that I have studied, that will be there. Whenever your brain tells you, पिछले बार जो पढ़ा है, पिछले दिन जो पढ़ा है, पिछला subject जो पढ़ा है, you have forgotten, just tell yourself, जो कुछ भी पढ़ा है, 90% of that is going to come back. Because you have studied it and you have revised it. Not just you have studied one time, you have studied it and revised it multiple times. It is indeed going to come back. Don't let your brain trick you into telling that you have forgotten the things that you have studied. Same with the facts, and be efficient and effective. Have a positive mindset. As much possible you do, and be very efficient and effective and productive. But last week is also about rest. That is action number 2 here. Very, very important and very often ignored by aspirants, especially freshers. Aram says 7 to 8 hours of sleep is needed here to relax yourself, to rest yourself, and most importantly prepare for 16th June. Do not feel guilty if you sleep for 7 to 8 hours. Anything less than that is not recommended, anything more than that is not recommended. Either in a single go or in 2 installments, whatever, per day, get adequate sleep, that is 7 to 8 hours. And hydrate and eat well, that is also very important, and I've been seeing the heat here in Delhi. Oh my God. Okay, that makes it more important for you to hydrate well. And just hydration means not just drinking water, ensure that there are electrolytes in the water. It can be a lemon, nimbu pani pi sakte ho, okay, or you can add ORS or some fruit juices. Because hydration, many people think is just water. Yes, water is an important component, but hydration is also about replenishing the mineral salts that your body loses because of the heat. So, nimbu pani, fruit juices, tender coconut, I was just drinking that, okay, practically surviving Delhi on that, okay, tender coconut, fresh fruit juices, ORS, anything, okay, so do that. And most importantly, exercise, okay. I know sir बोल रहे हैं कि prelims को 20 दिन में रख के exercise करो. See, I cannot stress you, or I cannot highlight the importance of exercise enough. You don't have to do 1 hour, 2 hours of intense exercise. 30 minutes, 45 minutes can make a hell lot of difference. Can be any exercise. You go to a gym, you walk, you run, you jog, you do yoga, Surya Namaskar, anything. At least 30 minutes of exercise, 5 times a week at least. 30 minutes into 5 times a week, if not a daily. Because do not think of exercise as time wasted. Think of exercise is time invested in rejuvenating yourself. The 8 hours, 9 hours that you are studying, these 30, 40 minutes or even 1 hour, you can give even 1 hour, will improve your productivity like anything. It will help you sleep better, eat better, and most importantly, improve your immunity. When you exercise, brain releases positive hormones like dopamine. That will reduce your stress levels, that will be at a higher level at this point of time. When your stress and anxiety are reduced, you sleep better, you eat better, and most importantly, it improves your immunity. So do not think of exercise that you do for 40 minutes to 1 hour as time wasted. Do any exercise. Avoid playing contact sports and everything at this point of time, which risks an injury. Worst case, you don't have anything, just walk at least. Walk as much as possible, and preferably early mornings or late evenings if you are living in Delhi. Okay, otherwise heat stroke का बहुत chance है. Okay, so early mornings or late evenings. But that is a very underrated aspect of preparation, whether prelims, mains, interview. Many people were like, अरे 40 minutes चला 40 minutes नहीं जा रहा है. 40 minutes you are investing to improve that productivity in action 1, and also improve rest, and or get better quality of rest, sleep, and 5 to 10 minutes meditation, preferably before beginning the studies or after a break, or anytime whenever you may be feeling down and out. Just leave everything. You can do it in the classroom, in your study centers, in your libraries, at home. Take deep breaths. That's all. Do not think about anything. Yes, thoughts you cannot control. Exam का आता रहेगा, वो आता रहेगा, ये आता रहेगा, blah blah blah. Just feel at ease with yourself, with your thoughts. And do not hurry. If you can meditate for 3 minutes, do it for only 3, 4 minutes, 4, 5 minutes, 5, 10 minutes. Take at your own pace. Because every individual will have different levels. Especially if you are new, I think 3 to 4 minutes beyond you will not be able to meditate. It's okay. Just sit, take deep breaths, focus on your breathing. That's all. Not try to control anything. जो कुछ भी thoughts आ रहे हैं आने दो. Let it come, let it go. Exam के हो गए, stress के हो गए, life के हो गए. We are all human beings. We are all made up of our thoughts. But the thoughts do not have to define us. And most importantly, the thoughts do not have to be true. Especially if it's a negative thought. So meditate. That will, exercise is for body. Meditation is the exercise of the mind. And ultimately, in prelims, more than body, you need mind. बस गोले भरने हैं ना. So more than body, you need mind. So focus on sharpening your mind. And next one, mindset. I'm going to talk about more of the mindset at the end of the session, exclusively with the mindset section. Just 3 to 4 things I want to tell you. First is start visualizing 16th June, 9:30 to 11:30, 2:30 to 4:30. Like how you are going to sit, what is going to be your, like whatever you have implemented the strategies of solving MCQs in GS1 and GS2, how you are going to implement that. Imagine you are sitting, you are solving MCQs, round 1, 100% sure वाले मैं बना रहा हूँ. I'm not taking any risk. I'm not going out of the scope of the knowledge that I have. I'm not panicking. जो कुछ भी आ रहा है, I'm this thing. Round 2, जो 50-50 वाले हो गए या जो मैंने not that comfortable, but you know that by and large you are managing. Third round is where you're taking calculated risk. Sit and visualize. CSAT, round 1, 100% sure. Or some people start with RCs, some people start with quant. मैंने ये कर दिया. And then I'm back to logical reasoning. Then I'm back to RCs or quant. Whatever your strategies is, sit and visualize. And I would be happy if you can write that down. Scribble. You don't have to write it in fair. I'm sitting in the examination hall. This is very underrated and this has worked brilliantly for me and my students. Sit and write, visualize. I am sitting in the examination hall. In round 1, I am going to do so and so. In round 2, I am going to do so and so. Round 3, this. I am not going to panic. If at all there are any out of the scope of the questions, it's okay. Whatever the things that you want to execute, you visualize that. You can combine this with meditation. You start with meditation for 5 minutes. For the next 5 minutes, you can do the visualization process. Mix the both. Or before you go to sleep, once you are done with the day, make it your end of the day routine. Okay, before you go to sleep, you visualize what you are going to do in 16th June, 9:30 to 11:30, right? 16th June, 9:30 to 11:30, GS paper 1. This is what I am going to do. Scribble it, you don't have to write it for neatly. 2:30 to 4:30, this is what I am going to do. Because when you are scribbling that or writing it, you are visualizing it, that is, brain is getting wired into it. कि भाई साहब 9:30 16 जून ये करना है हमें, पैनिक नहीं करना है, इसको ये हमने तैयारी की है, we have worked it in this way, we have strategized in this way, and इसको execute करना है. Because many people falter in the executions. तैयारी बहुत बिल्कुल बढ़िया करते हैं, but they falter at the execution stage. And one way of preventing you from faltering in the execution is by writing and visualizing. Like you must have seen cricketers before they go to bat, especially Sachin Tendulkar, used to do shadow practice, right? They will just take the bat and they will just do this, like they swing the bat around. That is them visualizing कि ball अगर ऐसा आएगा तो ऐसे मारेंगे, ऐसा आएगा तो ऐसे मारेंगे. So that is called as shadow practice. That is visualization, a technique of visualization. You're wiring yourself brain कि ball अगर ऐसा आएगा तो उसको ऐसे straight drive खेलेंगे, थोड़ा short आएगा तो cut करेंगे, उससे short आएगा तो you are going to hook it. For UPSC, when you write and visualize, it's like how you are solving GS, how you are going to solve CSAT. Very underrated technique. Very, very underrated technique, but works very brilliantly. Has worked for me and my students who have cleared in the past few years. If at all you are struggling with execution, this is very important. The next thing is, whenever you feel stressed, take a deep breath or a couple of deep breaths. Everything is going to be fine. And I'll talk about believing and breathing again because I have a entire subsection dedicated. Let me come to, in the last week, prepare a checklist. Things that you should be carrying on the day of the exam. 1 week पहले. पहला तो हो गया hall ticket. दूसरा हो गया ID card that is mentioned in the hall ticket. That is very important. ये दो चीज़ें रहेंगे और एक पेन रहेगा तो you will get entry. बाकी कुछ हो ना हो, ID card that is mentioned in the hall ticket, you have to carry that and hall ticket. 1 week पहले या अभी से देख के रख लो कि कहाँ है ID card. Because some of you might have come from your hometown, might have left behind the ID cards there. Now you will have time now, or 1 week before you will still have time to get it. एक दिन पहले देख रहे हो आधार कार्ड कहाँ है, आधार कार्ड नहीं मिल रहा है, पैनिक, पैन कार्ड हो रहा है, पैन कार्ड पता नहीं, अभी टाइम है, अगर खो भी गया तो नया भी बनवा सकते हो. So check it once today and check it once, and then what and all you want to carry for the examination. Any short notes that you have made you want to carry, नहीं carry करोगे तो ठीक है, whatever. Water bottle is a must. You can carry food. Inside the examination also you can carry chocolates, etc. whatever you want. Except tea, coffee कुछ भी लेके जा सकते हो. But don't carry like chicken biryani वगैरह लेके मत जाओ. Okay, you can carry chocolates. Okay, that's always I used to always carry chocolates for prelims, mains. Okay, so any chocolates that do not mess up with the OMR sheet, जो sun की heat में गर्मी, avoid chocolates that are made of Cadbury's. Okay, because that will melt and make it messy. Hard candy जो melt ना होवे. दिल्ली की गर्मी तो I will not be surprised if everything melts. Right, I was just watching a video that a person was making a papad, okay, just by using sun's energy. So, but yeah, do carry, especially water, right? So you can carry something that will not get, but make a checklist right before 1 week. Hall ticket should be there. Hall ticket तो कहीं भी download कर सकते हो, but ID card that is mentioned in the hall ticket. My examination hall में, you never know. See, generally examiners are kind enough, थोड़ा बहुत हो जाता है तो they will like some ID card is missing, they will adjust, but you never know. Why risk? Last moment में stress हो जाएगा. First of all, exam is stressful. We have to avoid the last moment panic at any cost. ठीक है? Prepare a checklist. The things, any books that you want to carry, anything, do that. Right? So last week, 3 actions should be taken. 1 with study. Good amount of study, effective, efficient study without overstretching yourself, mind or body. Rest should be given equal importance. 7 to 8 hours of sleep, good sleep. Single installment, double installment, doesn't matter. 7 to 8 hours, आराम से, guilt free. Exercise 40 minutes to 1 hour per day. Meditate and visualize 5 to 10 minutes. Meditation followed by visualization, especially 9:30 to 11:30 of 16th May, 2:30 to 4:30. How you are going to be performing that? Because what you internalize, what you visualize is more often than not, you will be able to pull it off in the actual exam. Right? Moving on here, 1 day before, on the eve of the exam, 15th June, what should you guys do? So, coming to the eve of the exam, do not study much. Mild study, revision of any facts, figures, short notes that you have made, good. If you feel like not studying, do not study. Some people are like, they don't study, they watch movies. Fine, chalega. Do what you feel like. Because, my dear friends, एक दिन में आप कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे. जो कुछ भी करना था, 1 साल 1.5 साल से पहले से करते आना था, एक दिन में, ये यूनिवर्सिटी का ग्रेजुएशन एग्जाम नहीं है, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. ओके, सो लास्ट डे, अगर दिल करता है, थोड़ा मन करता है, थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ ले, थोड़ा बहुत दिमाग में आ रहा है, इसको, ये फैक्ट्स को देख ले, लास्ट मोमेंट ग्लांस इट. अगर इफ यू फीलिंग लाइक नहीं रेस्ट करना है, स्लीप, डू नॉट डू एनी इंटेंस टास्क. ओके, जस्ट इफ यू वांट टू फील स्लीप, वांट टू वॉच समथिंग, talk to your friends, mentors, family, whatever you feel like. No condition. Just do not intensely study. Night out, white out मत करो. Okay, वो graduation में चलता था. यहाँ पे आराम से sleep early, wake up early. Okay, so last day is completely your call. Some people go counterintuitive. They go like they sit and watch a movie. Okay, or watch something. Or some videos, not study related, okay, not study related, right, or some mild revisions, okay, that you can, some stand-up comedy or anything that will make you feel happy, okay, anything that makes you feel happy. And especially if you are not having the center and you are not a native of Delhi, or you are going to traveling to other cities, please visit your center 1 day or 2 days prior, okay. Especially if you are in Agra, Ajmer, right? एक बार जाके देखो, 1 दिन या 2 दिन पहले, okay, go. Like, do not directly on the day you are googling, because most of these things, especially if it's a government school, Google भी नहीं ढूंढ सकता है सरकारी स्कूलों को. I have faced it personally. Okay. प्राइवेट स्कूल्स का लोकेशन बहुत अच्छे से होता है गूगल्स में. ये सरकारी schools, the government schools are not easily found. So if at all you are going, even if it's in the same city, but it's at a very far away place, just visit it once, or at least if you have some family member or a friend who is not giving, they're accompanying you, at least let them go and check and verify कि मतलब यही है. You need to, like, because if you come late, you're not going to allow, and most importantly, even if you make it on time, unnecessary last moment hassle and panic. Okay, unnecessary last moment hassle and panic. So one day before or even 2 days before you can do this. Next, again checklist देख लो एक बार. Okay, ID cards, etc. Things to carry, pens, multiple, black ball point pen. Do not carry gel pen. Do not carry ink pen. Yes, वहाँ पे easily मिल जाते हैं, but why खुद के carry करो आराम से 3 से 4. Okay, pens, keep it. Nothing will happen. Ink तो खत्म नहीं होगी, but better to have plan B, plan C, plan D. Think about whitener. मैंने बहुत लोग like, sir, should we take whitener? I always suggest strongly. When you are marking, focus के साथ mark करो. Second guess मत करो. Whitener do not use because it may backfire. Okay, I have evidence of both. People who have used whitener and cleared, and people who used whitener should have cleared but not cleared. So it's inconclusive how whitener is treated by UPSC. But instruction says do not use, so follow the instructions. Because if you are breaking the commission's instructions and you are from that particular attempt, then only you are to blame. So when they say do not do it, do not do it. Be careful while marking. Okay, and see the things that you have to carry: your water bottles, your if any sort of chocolates that you are carrying, or Glucon-D or Glucovita bolts, or most importantly hall ticket, ID card, pens. इसके अलावा anything else. Okay, whatever, do and smile. आराम से. It's very important. It is very important. Very underrated. Because smile is that curve which sets a lot of things straight. Right? Smile is a curve. When we smile, we develop a curve on our face, but it sets a lot of things straight. And one day before it's there, okay, that थोड़ा बहुत धक धक होता रहता है, nervousness, stress होता है, yeah. So just sit and smile, okay, or talk to your family, talk to people who make you feel good. Okay, it can be anybody. It can be your family, friends, partners, mentors, anybody. Okay, just sit, okay, develop a smile. And रात को नींद आ सकती है. Try and sleep 7 to 8 hours. You may get very sound sleep. You may get decent amount of sleep, and you may have a sleepless night. All three are possibilities. Doesn't matter if it's the first attempt or last attempt. All three are common possibilities. You may get a very sound sleep. You may get okay, good quality of sleep. Couple of times disturbance, but ठीक है. Or sometimes you may get no sleep. जब सुबह होगी, nothing matters. Even if you have slept very soundly, you have to wake up and pull yourself. Even if you had a okay sleep, doesn't matter. 9:30 to 11:30, you have visualized. 2:30 to 4:30, you have to be at your damn best. रात भर नींद नहीं आई, you kept staring at the ceiling, doesn't matter. You 9:30 to 11:30, 2:30 to 4:30, you have to ace it. And try, if you are not getting sleep, do not start studying. Okay, नींद नहीं आ रही. If you want to do it, I wouldn't suggest it. But if you want to do it, you can. Okay, and there is no see, the UPSC is something that there are common strategies, but every individual will have their own things that works for them. Okay, so नींद आ सकती है, नहीं आ रही है तो do not stress about not sleeping. That's all. नींद नहीं आ रही है तो जो करना है कर लो, but do not stress about अरे नींद नहीं. It's a prelims game. Doesn't ज़्यादा मैटर नहीं होगा. थोड़ा फोकस डेवलप कर लोगे तो ये हो जाएगा. So do not sit and worry कि अरे नींद नहीं आई क्या होगा. कुछ नहीं होगा. एक ही दिन नहीं सोया है. Okay, it's okay. Right? So don't stress too much about the sleep. Try and get as much good rest as possible. Sleep as much as possible on the eve of the exam. Irrespective of that, good quality sleep, average quality sleep, bad quality sleep, or no sleep, I want you guys to be at your best, at your sharp wit on both GS paper 1 and paper 2 of CSAT. And don't worry about anything. If you are not getting sleep, do not use your mobile too much or unnecessarily worry. And if you are following nocturnal way of studying, जो रात भर नाइट आउट करके आप फिलहाल के लिए पढ़ रहे हैं, and especially given the weather is very hot, many people might be preferring long nights and sleeping in the day. I think you can shift to day studies or gradually transition, because the exam ultimately is going to be in the day, so better to shift to day studies now, or at least in the last week you can try and transition. If not now, at least in the last week. Since it's prelims, even if you do not do it also, it will not matter. Mains will matter because 2 papers you have to write from 9 to 12 and 2 to 5. That matters more. Prelims में ज़्यादा matter नहीं होगा. If you can transition and want to transition, do it. If not, it's okay. Okay. ठीक है. So this will be the 3 actions and things that you have to work. Do not forget the 4th one. Very important. Again, very underrated. Smile. Right? You know, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, life will go on. UPSC will go on. Okay. Never to forget smile. So now let's go to the D-Day. 16th June. 16th June में क्या करना है आप? So comes the D-Day. Reach early, guys. Okay. See, if you have, I have told you to see the center in the 1 day prior or 2 days prior. Reach early. Okay. So 9:30 paper. Try to be there by 8 o'clock at least. And do not skip breakfast at any cost. Okay. Do not skip, because again one more mistake that people do is, see, stress hota hai, and in that stress we will not have too much appetite. Jitna bhi appetite ho, right, eat. Jitna bhi kam ho, zyada ho, doesn't matter. After that you feel like drinking tea, coffee, milk, anything, do that. But at no cost skip breakfast, at least little, because science, when you eat breakfast and it gets digested, energy is released to the body, and that is energy. Your brain also needs energy. It has to be at the sharpest. Okay, so try and have a healthy breakfast. Worst case, fruits kha lo. Okay, do not have a too heavy breakfast. A good amount of breakfast, a healthy breakfast, whatever you feel like eating. And if you want to, very well, do that. For me, though, when I was giving, coffee was a must before every paper. Yeah, right? So whatever is your routine, follow that. I know, उस stress में, उस tension में, थोड़े बहुत anxiety में, you will not feel too much hunger. Okay, but do not skip. Okay, have a good healthy breakfast, some fruits, whatever you feel like, it's open. But don't overeat कि वहाँ जाके नींद आ जाए. Okay, so that is one thing. And do not be intimidated. Be yourself. Because अब आप examination center में जाओगे prelims में, so 2.5 से 3 लाख लोग लिख रहे हैं पूरे देश में. हाँ, prelims में हर तरह के नमूने मिलेंगे वहाँ पे, right? Different categories के नमूने, ठीक है? And also there will be serious people. You may have some people you know, friends, but in prelims it is very rare to come across people that you know. Mains में तो सारे पता होते हैं लोग, because you are prepared together. But prelims में knowing familiar faces is difficult. But do not be intimidated by others. कोई पढ़ के ऐसे last moment page घूम रहा है. If you have carried any material, if you want to glance through before entering the hall, your guest, your choice. There is no hard and strict rule. Some people 15 जून के बाद पढ़ाई नहीं करते. They just done closing ceremony करके direct. Some people till the nth moment. Both are right. Whichever works for you. Do not change. And if you are a type who will not study in the last day, but you are seeing people like फटाफट, and then you see some new material, 100 most probable questions in prelim examination, अब पढ़ाई नहीं है, क्या होगा? कुछ नहीं होगा. Okay, as long as you have studied well, do not get intimidated at any cost whatsoever, my dear friends. Everybody has their own strategy. I have told you, everybody has their own strategy. Some people are study till the nth moment. I personally, अंदर जाने तक I had something in my hand. पढ़े ना पढ़े, वो just for that psychological feel that you have some material. I should always have that material in my hand. Some people last day के बाद डायरेक्ट टच ही नहीं करेंगे, दैट्स ऑल्सो फाइन. सम पीपल मोबाइल में कुछ देखते रहते हैं, वॉट एवर वर्क्स फॉर यू, बट बी काम. Do not get intimidated by any person, any material. And people who come with some people like they're like ये पढ़ ले, it's okay. सबका अलग अलग होता है. Everybody is अलग अलग, different way. Okay? किसी बात पे घबराना नहीं है, किसी बात पे इंटिमिडेट नहीं होना है, काम रहना है. I know heartbeat will be little faster, थोड़ा टेंशन होगा because you're right there. But लोगों को देख के इंटिमिडेट नहीं होना है, लोगों के स्टडी मटेरियल को देख के इंटिमिडेट नहीं होना है. एंड वहाँ पे जाके अरे फियर ऑफ मिसिंग आउट नहीं होना है, अरे ये नहीं पढ़ा मैंने, वहाँ पे कोई कुछ करंट अफेयर्स उठा रहा है, कोई इतना बड़ा बुक लेके आया है, समथिंग ना. जस्ट बी काम. इफ यू हैव कैरिंग योर ओन मटेरियल, बी इन दैट. इफ यू आर अ टाइप ऑफ पर्सन हु डज नॉट कैरी एनीथिंग, गो आराम से. और साइकोलॉजिकल रीजन, इफ यू आर लाइक मी, पढ़ाई ना पढ़े हाथ में होना चाहिए, लेके जाओ. फॉर मी एटलीस्ट फॉर द साइकोलॉजिकल रीजन, लाइक ओके I needed to have that, at least holding it in my hand. Some short notes that I would have prepared for the prelims or mains. Next, this is very important. Strategy examination hall में जाके change नहीं करना है. Do not change your strategy in the examination hall. Stick to what has been working for you in the mock tests. You have developed a strategy, you are going to refine that strategy, you are going to implement that in the next sort of full length tests. You are going to implement that. Minor tweaks will be there, छोटा मोटा improvements रहेगा. That is going to be replicated in the actual exam. You are not going to mess up your strategy or then radically go counterintuitive and do something that is not worked for you before or you have not tried. That's why we are doing visualization of the strategy, so that you don't go up there and try something random, because many freshers do this. So lot of freshers, lot of you, they do that and they suffer. That's why visualization becomes very important. Write and visualize. Do not go there and do any new experiment, random kuch bhi kar diya, or directly 1 to 100 you are going, you are attempting all sort of questions in the first round only. No, that will be very unwise, that will be foolish, especially if you are a fresher, first time writers, बहुत backfire करेगा. Stick to what has worked for you. You have your strategy has worked for you by and large, so stick to the strategy and let it work for you in the exam. It will work because यहाँ पे work किया है, largely it should work, and largely all of your strategies, if you see, it will be similar, if not same, similar. And you derive your strategies based on our inputs, so it has worked, let it work. वहाँ पे जाके don't get any idea, radical thoughts, quite common, especially when you are under pressure. You do things that are counterintuitive, that are not, which you wouldn't have done usually under normal circumstances, under normal circumstances without stress. Okay, this is what you have to do on the actual day of exam before you enter. Now let us see how to tackle both the papers in the examination hall, GS and CSAT. First, let's come to GS. One thing I want you guys to have is 100% focus. I know little bit of nerves will be there, little bit of tension. When you are about to enter the examination hall, all tension, all the nerves, leave it outside the examination hall. वहाँ जाके होगा नहीं होगा, will you be able to clear, will you be able to not clear? Don't. There you have left your worries. No matter what good, bad has happening in your life, doesn't matter, you have left it behind. There I want 100% focus on the question that you are solving in a detached manner. Let's say you are in question number 1. Your 100% focus should be on question number 1 and its options. You are not anticipating what is going to come next. Let's say you went to question number 2 your 100% focus is on question number 2, not what is going to come in question number 3, not what is going to come in question number what you already attempted or what you went through in question number 1. And before you can just start attempting, you can just quickly in 10 to 15 seconds shuffle across the pages and see the overall 100 questions. Quickly 10 to 15 seconds fast you can shuffle just to see. ज़्यादा समझ में नहीं आएगा but at least a overview आ जाएगा कि मतलब largely questions क्या है. But after that, when you are in question number 1, you are in question number 1. If you are in question number 34, you are 100% focused on question number 34. Not what happened in 33, not what's going to come in 35. If you are in 99, you are in 99. Not in 100, not in 98. Do not worry. And let's say some silly error happened. Happened means happened. Try and avoid it. Think before you ink. गोले भरने से पहले think before you ink. Just in case हो गया. If you do not realize that, that is actually a blessing in disguise. Let's say you realize the silly error in the examination hall. जो हो गया सो हो गया. It's not going to determine your outcome there. Try and let it go. Detached. Once you have done with the question, mark हो गया OMR sheet में, उसके बारे में सोचना नहीं है. And implement your strategies and always in the first round 100% sure वाले attempt कीजिए. Always 100% sure. Because when you attempted all the questions that you are 100% sure in the round 1, what you are going to do there is you are going to build a sense of comfort and confidence. Let's say इतने questions attempt किए, these are all the sure shot ones. इसमें 95% of the questions are going to be definitely right. ठीक है, I am there halfway, 50% there, another 50% to go in round 2 and round 3. Because if you attempt difficult questions, eliminated the questions 50-50 ones in round first, there is a good chance your accuracy will be less, because initially there is going to be nerves, initially there are going to be jitters. The brain is little jittery. Don't attempt those kind of questions. 100% sure shot in round 1, remaining rounds other ones. Let your brain calm down. And once you have done, after round 1, you will like, okay, ठीक है, 50% job done. You are other halfway there, halfway to go. Detach, 100% focus, especially while marking. See if which of the options are correct or incorrect, what the question examiner is there. If you want to underline in the question paper, underline incorrect, correct. Read this thing and ensure that while marking, especially in the round 2, because round 1 you will go 1 to 100 or 100 to 1, whatever, and round 2 you will go question by question that you have left. Let's say you are read the question number 21 and you mark 21 only in the OMR. Do not do these silly mistakes. And let's say you started the question, let's say you got set B. In set B you started reading the questions, first 5 questions, ek mein bhi you are not 100% sure. First 10 questions you are hardly sure of anything. Do not panic. If that is the case, jump to question number 25, 50, 75. Choose the areas that you find easy first. But panic at no cost. At any cost you should not panic. And most importantly, don't sit and speculate. पेपर easy है, पेपर tough है, मेरे दोस्तों को कैसा जा रहा है पेपर, prelims पास होगा, prelims नहीं होगा. It's not the time nor the place. And you are not capable enough to speculate. Paper tough है. One thing is there, prepare for a tough paper. Paper tough ही आने वाला है. I have been telling this since now more than a year. Paper is going to be tough. Anticipate a tough paper and go there, and don't sit and speculate or get panicked. Just go with the areas that you know comfortably. Bullseye first, like 100% जो आपके sure shot ones है, that. Always 100% bullseye should be hit first. Because this is the ones which will help you calm down those nerves that you have, the jitters that you have, build you that confidence. And always remember, you must have already experienced this in your mock test. When you are calm, your brain works differently. Especially it sees the things that your jittery brain, your anxious brain might miss. Basic psychology, when you're stressed, you overlook things, you overcomplicate things. Don't do that. Be calm, be relaxed. Chill karo aaram se with 100% focus and hit the bullseye. Only thing that should matter is execution of the things that you have tried in the past. Your strategy has to be executed. Do not sit there and speculate. Last one is very important. हंसते रहो, मुस्कुराओ, आराम से. Some people have the habit of slowly talking to themselves. You can, as long as the examination doesn't feel that you're cheating. आराम से, or mental voice. Okay. Keep on motivating yourself, push yourself. Enjoy the 2 hours. It's going to be intense 2 hours under pressure, but enjoy. Because that's a good experience, writing a prelims. This is for your GS paper 1. Let's come to CSAT. Largely, most of the things will apply here. But in CSAT, time is the key. Because GS may largely will not face any time crunch or time issues. At CSAT mein time bante, and I have told you, identify is the key here. If you are not sure, then that means you can keep it to the next round. Go with the ones which you are sure shot ones and follow the strategies that worked. You can start with quant first, you can start with RC first, you can start with logical reasoning first, whatever has worked. Or you can go serial wise, some people go serial wise, section wise, anything guys, but keep an eye on the time. Do not overindulge in any section or any question. And most importantly, move on from GS1. बहुत लोग ना एग्जाम GS1 के बाद आके गिव अप कर देते हैं. That has happened last year. पेपर ऐसा आया भाई साहब कि पेपर लाइक गया. But itna subjective, I was telling, right? Even we do not know for sure which is the right answer. Do not give up. Tough आया, सही आया, बाद में देखेंगे. Move on. Do not carry GS wala baggage to CSAT, because CSAT is also very important and relatively on the tougher side. So let's focus on treating these both things as 2 papers where you do not carry, like how we do for mains. Like मॉर्निंग में GS1 लिखते हैं, वी डू नॉट कैरी GS2 का बैगेज बिकॉज टाइम भी नहीं होता है, थक भी रहते हैं. सो वी डू नॉट कैरी दैट. GS3 एंड GS4 वी डू नॉट कैरी एनीथिंग. ऑप्शनल पेपर 1, पेपर 2 विल नॉट कैरी एनीथिंग. अप्लाई दैट. It's not like how prelims was 4 years back, 5 years back, that if paper 1 you feel like gone, it was gone. No. Nobody can tell these days whether you are appearing for the first year or you are already cleared this exam and appearing, or you have given multiple prelims. You will not be able to tell. So move on from GS1 and try that technique of multiples of 4. And I am telling you again I am repeating, try it only if you have implemented that and tried that in the further mock tests and your step ups. Do not directly go there. This technique or any techniques there. And yes, the gap between GS and CSAT, utilize it. Because CSAT is tough. Carry any material if you want, some formulas or techniques, that short notes that you have made, revise that. Revise those things. That will help. That will definitely help, my friends. And have a good lunch, not a heavy lunch, something that will not make you drowsy or sleepy. Have a good lunch, healthy lunch. Again, tea and coffee, your choice. But utilize that break effectively, especially if you are troubled by CSAT. Utilize that break effectively. And if you are troubled by CSAT, do not skip your lunch. It's okay, 15-20 मिनट खा सकते हो आराम से. उस ब्रेक में आपका कुछ मेकर ब्रेक नहीं होने वाला है. It's just the revision and consolidation that is going on. Okay. Ensure that you utilize that break effectively. Time is key for CSAT. If you can manage time effectively, I think CSAT पार हो जाएगा. I think you will clear CSAT. And do not carry GS baggage to CSAT. And as usual, smile. Smile is going to be a very paramount importance. Paper tough हो, easy हो. No point, cursing or worrying or sitting there and analyze, because you cannot analyze the paper difficulty. Paper is going to be difficulty, internalize that and go. Do not sit there and analyze, right? So, summing up the actual things that you should do for paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1, both paper 1 and paper 2, 100% focus, detached from question to question. If you are in one question, you are there. You are not there anywhere else. Next, bullseye first, both in GS and CSAT. 100% वाले जो होते हैं, you are 100% sure that this is the answer. Leave worry outside. Only focus on the execution. Do not speculate. Paper easy hai, paper tough hai. How are my friends performing? How are my family performing? Nah. For CSAT, identification is key. Time is key. Try and finish on multiples of 4. Do not carry the baggage of GS to CSAT. अच्छा गया, बुरा गया. Given the trends of examination in past 2-3 years, nobody can tell. Okay. बाद में देख लेंगे ना. We will have a lot of time to do that. Right? So, next. Very rookie mistakes, especially if you are appearing for the first time or second time, to avoid. First is solving on ego. Now, let's say there are areas that you are liking, areas that you are expert at, subjects that you are expert at, or let's say for me, since my optional was history, history was my area that I loved. Ancient, medieval, modern, art and culture. Since history is my optional and history was the one which I loved solving along with other subjects, there was a tendency that any history question I see, like isko solve karna hi hai. Because first of all, my optional is history. I love studying history and it is my cup of tea. Never take it on your ego. Let's say you love polity questions, or there may be subtopics in polity, like say fundamental rights. You are expert in fundamental rights, कुछ भी. But वहाँ पे उस दिन जो question आया fundamental rights का, no idea. Do not take it on ego. Let your not ego dictate which question to attempt, which question to leave. If you have no idea and there is no way of eliminating or applying any logic or any calculated guess, then just smile. Just mentally say thank you for appearing, but move on. Do not take it on your ego to solve your exams, especially in the areas that you know very, very well. Ego will not come in the areas that you do not know. Ego will only come in the areas that you know very, very well and practiced multiple times and worked really, really hard on those topics. अरे यार मैंने इतना पढ़ा है इस टॉपिक को, इतने बार पढ़ा है, मैंने खुद पढ़ा है, मेरे दोस्तों को भी पढ़ा है, अब इसमें नहीं आ रहा है. This is one classic rookie mistakes, and even veterans also do this mistake. Especially veterans में ego ज़्यादा होता है in terms of solving. इतने बार पढ़ा है, never solve on the basis of your ego or to satisfy your ego. It may backfire. Only solve if you know it, or you can eliminate and arrive it, or a calculated guess you can take. Even if you can take a calculated guess based on logic, that's also fine. Just to satisfy your ego, please do not solve to satisfy your ego. And there are some rookie mistakes, especially the freshers do in OMR marking. जब OMR दिखता है, they will give the OMR 10 to 5 minutes before. You have to fill your roll number and bubble it. Take आराम से time, because exam has not yet started, to bubble it. Properly write your roll number and bubble correctly. Do not make mistakes. And then you have to mark the question paper series A, B, C or D. उसको भी properly करना है. And then you have to mark GS paper 1 or paper 2 CSAT. And then you have to write your center. These are the things. Take your time, fill it properly. Okay, fill it properly. Do not miss anything. Do not make mistakes, because unnecessary stress if you make a mistake. Unnecessary stress. And also during the exam, when the examination is on, already paper is there, you are solving, the examiner is going to come with his OMR sheet where you have to mark the attendance, write the question. It's okay, 1-2 minutes चले जाएंगे, but take it time and finish it quickly but properly. It's okay. Don't hurry up too much so that वहाँ पे mistake हो गया. फिर वो वाइटनर लाएंगे, unnecessary again. Do it properly. 1-2 मिनट जाने दो. It's okay. Time crunch नहीं होगा. Okay. And one more mistake is there will be some people who will first mark in the question paper. Last के 5 मिनट में गोले भरेंगे पूरे. Like they are filling the OMR sheet. Examiner is taking and then you are panicking. Please do not do that. When you have decided that this is going to be the answer, mark it in OMR sheet. Only if you are unsure, then you can keep it to the last moment, and that to finish it off at least 5 minutes before. No need, because ultimately you have to fill. जो 100% sure has to be filled immediately. Do not first like question paper में solve करूँगा, ये क्या होता है? नहीं, it shows lack of confidence in yourself. Answer नहीं बदलने वाला है. Answer बदलेगा तो it will be because of your overthinking, and that is going to I am going to come to it in just a bit. Right? So ensure if you are 100% sure, it is marked in OMR. GS, CSAT doesn't matter. Only the questions where you want to revisit, where you are 100% not sure but there is ambiguity and you want to take a call later on, those questions you can keep it. But that also finished off prior to 5 minutes, both in GS as well as CSAT. Many people I have seen suffered because of not marking on the OMR sheet. Because when you are marking everything together, na, एक mistake हो गया, 4-5 question will go wrong before you even realize it. Let's say instead of 20, you started marking 21, 22, 23. एक गड़बड़ हो गया, बहुत नुकसान होगा. Don't do that. Especially freshers do that. Next, assuming cutoff. This is very important. This is very important, guys. पिछले साल का 75, 75, उसका 87. There is no way we can predict cutoff. Nobody predicted 75 last year. Okay. Do not go with a mindset इस बार का cutoff 80 आने वाला है, 75, 100 आने वाला है. नहीं. See, there is lot of things determine cutoff. एक तो CSAT का difficulty हो गया. दूसरा thing, how difficult the GS is or what areas they are asking. Lot of things determine CSAT. You are not in a position to go with a predetermined cutoff. Treat the paper on its merit, and your only objective is to solve the questions on its merit, as many as possible, without mentally imagining a cutoff. And then there will be a question, how many questions should I solve, especially GS1. GS2 may as many as possible. GS1 how many? What is the question? See, there is no magic number here. But given the past 3 years trends, at least I think 75 to 80 questions should be solved, because that will give you a cushion. 75 to 80 matlab simply you shouldn't solve, like attempted with full knowledge, with little bit of elimination and little bit of calculated risk and logic. 80 questions. Some people go even 85, 90. That is also there, but I am telling lower limit should be at least 75 to 80. Right? That doesn't mean you go berserk. Like 100 कर जाएंगे, पूरा सेंचुरी मार के आएंगे. Fans of Virat Kohli, 100 like 100. No, don't do that. Solve the question on the basis of merit. But I think anything below 70 is little risky given the subjectivity in the prelims. Because anything below 70, accuracy should be very, very high. Unless that has showed in your mock test that below 70 your accuracy is super high, I think it will be better 75 plus, 80 plus. You can go up to 85. Upper limit you decide. Without unnecessary risk. Going berserk is not advised. And do not go with a magic number. Your astrologer told 83 करके आओ prelims होगा. Nothing. 99 करके आओ prelims होगा. No. Treat the paper on the basis of merit. Do not have a mental cutoff. Do not have a mental cutoff. Just treat the paper on its merit. And I think 75 to 80 should be there at least, because less than that you are at risk of having a less accuracy, means you are gone. This will add you that, let's say you attempted some 10 questions additionally. Even if 5 are right, you are in a very good situation. But if you go berserk, there is a chance that out of those 10, all 10 may be wrong, or just one or two may be right. That's not advisable. And next, most important enemy for UPSC aspirants, freshers, veterans, toppers are like overthinking. Why do UPSC aspirants overthink, overcomplicate? First, they do not trust the knowledge that they have. खुद पे भरोसा नहीं होता है. I'll just talk about mindset, how to build that shortly. So I'm just now identifying the causes here. Second thing is they are so habituated not trusting in themselves and comparing themselves with others. They start comparing themselves, they overthink. And third thing, they change their strategy in the examination hall. First, not trusting themselves, not believing in their own knowledge and believing in yourself. Second thing, getting intimidated by others. You see somebody in the examination hall, वो देख के intimidate हो जाते हैं. Third, they change their strategy in the examination hall. These are the three causes of overthinking in the exam. And this is something that you have to avoid, and you have to implement what has worked for you. अगर खुद के नॉलेज पे भरोसा नहीं करोगे, खुद पे भरोसा नहीं करोगे, तो किस पे करोगे? Who will you trust? It's you, man. You have worked really hard for past 1.5, 2 years. It's all going to come back to you. So trust your knowledge, trust your instinct. So rookie mistakes to avoid, or mistakes to avoid, I would say here, do not solve on your ego. Do not take anything personally, do not take anything on your ego, let it go. Do not make rookie mistakes on the OMR sheet, such as, making mistakes while filling your roll number, or not filling the OMR sheet until the last moment. Next, do not go with an assumed cutoff, treat the paper on its merit, or do not go with a magical number. Anything above 75, 80 questions, I think should be attempted. Less than that, you will have a risk. Upper limit, you see what you want to do. Do not go berserk, and avoid overthinking at any cost. More on that in the mindset section. Post exam, very briefly, I'll tell you. Trust the feeling that you get after the exam. Okay, or do not trust the feeling, it's up to you. Sometimes after the exam, especially GS, you will feel अच्छा हुआ है, बुरा हुआ है, पता नहीं है. Most of the people, पहले क्या होता था, it was अच्छा हुआ है, बुरा हुआ है. अब most of the people will like पता नहीं कैसे हुआ है. Okay, you do not know for sure how the paper has gone. अच्छा है, पता नहीं है तो ठीक है. Then answer keys are very subjective, guys. Okay, our Insights answer key was one of the highest accurate answer keys. You can refer to our answer key and any other institute that has shown higher accuracy in past 2-3 years, but very subjective होने वाला है. इस साल भी होने वाला है. Do not take those answer keys as a gospel truth. If you have, chance है, take a short break, because prelims has been postponed. Mains is not likely to be postponed. Okay, mains is going to be in September only. So do not take a risk. Take a short break of 2 to 3 days. Come back. Okay, come back and start studying for mains. And this is about it. Okay, do not take answer keys as a gospel truth. Or see, institutions will come up with their cutoff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Most importantly, keys only are not working to see whether you start there. So largely, if at all you have a chance, even 15, 20%, 30% chance, start for mains. Or my suggestion is, if I have to suggest, it might be radical a bit, don't check the answer key, start preparing for mains after 2-3 days. Because I think within 2 weeks result should be out. पिछले बार भी बहुत जल्दी आया था. I think 10 days to 14 days result should be out. So June end तक results आ जाएगा. So take a 2-3 day break, start, and then results के बाद देख लेंगे. उसमें बाद दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा in black and white, right? So my suggestion would be, I know it's radical, many people will go, but I'm telling this because of the subjectivity in the prelims answer key, subjectivity in the entire preliminary examination process, and subjectivity in the cutoff. Cutoff may go little less, may increase also. I am slightly expecting it to increase a little. I may be right, I may be wrong. Let's not speculate on that. But my thing is, I personally think you should not check keys and worry about the cutoff. Keys check भी कर लोगे तो irrespective of that, you should seriously start preparing for mains, because already there are few weeks less for mains, and if you waste another week or two, then it will be very less time for your mains. Take a short break, you don't have too much time also, day or two, maximum of 3, come start intensively for mains. वैसे भी 10 दिन में पता चल जाएगा, ठीक है. So let's go to the mindset section, and once we are done with this section, this is the most important part for the next few weeks, and once we are done with the section, I will be taking your doubts. Remember now, your mindset on the exam is as important as the knowledge. Your mindset on the day of the exam and the next few weeks is as important as your knowledge, and the first thing in your mindset is to expect the unexpected. Surprises, 16th June you will have surprises. Elimination technique पिछले बार चला गया, इस बार कुछ ना कुछ सरप्राइज रहेगा. Some or the other thing will be changed, or something will be there. Some expected topics will not be there, some unexpected topics will be there. CSAT में भी होंगे, GS में भी होगी. Start from today onwards, you should start expecting the unexpected. Surprise आया, just one thing you should do, smile. पता था आने वाला है, यही है. Do not get shocked. At no cost you should be shocked in the exam, because many people have lost 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes in that shock. ये भगवान, elimination technique नहीं है, only 1, only 2, only 3 आ रहा है. Where is the elimination technique? Where are the favorite areas of me? The areas that I love, the areas that I am well versed with. It's okay. आपको surprise है तो पूरे country को surprise है. If it's tough for you, it's tough for the entire country, it's not just you. So start expecting the unexpected. Surprises, high probability there will be, कुछ ना कुछ रहेगा. But let the surprise not shock you. Just smile. Okay. कुछ नहीं कर सकते. You are in the battlefield. You just have to do or die there. Do not get shocked by the opponent there. ठीक है? So do not, at no cost, I want you guys to get shocked, and right from now onward start expecting the unexpected. Surprises हो गया, bouncers हो गया, your favorite topics not coming. पिछले 5 साल से जो पूछा इस साल नहीं आएगा, ठीक है, नहीं आया. Paper is going to be very much counterintuitive, but your strategy should remain the same. Your attitude should remain the same. Your mindset should remain the same, and especially when you do that visualization technique, when you write and visualize, start writing, expect the unexpected. It's quote ko. Start writing, expect the unexpected. And third thing, before we discuss the details, is let go of the past baggage. पिछले बार आपने अटेम्प्ट दिया होगा, और doesn't matter, some of you might have given multiple attempts, 2 बार नहीं हुआ है, 3 बार नहीं हुआ है. Every attempt is a fresh attempt. Previous attempts do not define you. Let's say last year you could not clear CSAT. It's okay. You have learnt your lesson. You have worked hard to it. So just because last year or last couple of years had been a bad experience does not mean this year should be the same. Right? This year should not be the same. पिछले 2 साल में कुछ गड़बड़ हो गई है. Doesn't mean this year again you should flunk in prelims. You are not RCB, Royal Challengers Bangalore, right? To lose every time. Okay? Just because something has not worked out in the past, do not let that become an added baggage. Do not let it become a point of reference कि पिछले बार I flunked, this year also I am screwed. पिछले बार I flunked, this year also I am screwed. पिछले बार CSAT gone, this year also gone. पिछले बार GS gone, CSAT clear, this year also gone. Last year I panicked in the examination hall, this year also I will panic. Last year I could not sleep well before the exam. Every year is different. Every day is different. And you are not the same individuals you were 1 year back or even 1 month back. We evolve, even me, I am not same as I was 1 year back. We also evolve, human beings evolve, the continuous process of evolution. So let go of any sort of past baggages with respect to attempts. Let's say you have appeared for interview and you could not clear. But your prelims has always been a tough spot for you. It's okay. You already gone till interview and hopefully this year, God willing, you will go that one step extra. Or some of you might be going through some personal problems at home, financial problems. No baggage, guys. Because life में problems होने वाले हैं. Problems are constant. We'll face them after we are outside the examination hall. Do not take that burden and carry, because go with the lightest burden and with your best version. Now these things are quite common, okay. I think all of you will have been facing this at this point of time. Stress, anxiety, self-doubt, होगा नहीं होगा, am I capable enough? Fear of the future, क्या होने वाला है, पास होऊंगा नहीं होऊंगा, अगर प्रीलिम्स पास हो गया तो मेंस कैसे होगा, और if UPSC doesn't work out, what I am going to do, right? If my parents are continuing to love me, they have sacrificed so much, or who will marry me, fear of the future, feeling overwhelmed where you're studying and there is a sudden urge of overwhelmingness, like you cannot tell what is happening, okay, you'll just feel overwhelmed and you don't feel like doing anything or studying. That is also quite common. And not sleeping properly, you may be having sleep issues. So these are the general issues that people face at this point of time: stress, anxiety, self-doubt, fear of the future, like what's going to happen, overwhelmed or getting overwhelmed for no reason whatsoever, sleep issues where you are not getting good quality sleeps, or worse, in the dreams also you are getting UPSC only, okay. Instead of getting sweet dreams, you are getting UPSC dreams, or probably nightmares, you are flunking in CSAT, you are not managing time. Happens. UPSC does that to you. For this, there are very simple solutions, guys. First thing is, it's quite common for all. You are nothing special कि तुम्हें हो रहा है. Any person who has prepared for this exam seriously would have gone through all of the things that we saw: stress, anxiety, self-doubt, fear of the future, overwhelmed feelings at some point. Everybody, even I went through that. No person is sans without that, because either prelims mein, mains mein, inter mein, or all the 3 stages mein, you would have gone through those things. So remember that it is quite common for all. You are nothing special. Many people think that it's happening only to you. No, it happens to most of them, especially the people who prepare seriously for this examination. जो सीरियसली नहीं पढ़ते उनको पता है क्लियर नहीं होने वाला है, सो स्ट्रेस एंग्जाइटी होती नहीं है उनको, इट्स अ लॉस्ट कॉज फॉर देम. बट इफ यू हैव सीरियसली प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दिस एग्जामिनेशन, these things are going to be quite commonly happening. So what? First thing, accept the imperfections. This is very important. We resist imperfections in ourselves. एक सब्जेक्ट में एक टॉपिक छूट गया, एक सब्जेक्ट होलिस्टिकली नहीं हुआ है, कुछ मटेरियल छूट गया है, we stress upon that. But UPSC preliminary examination or mains examination is not about that. It's about the things that you know. जो कुछ सही से करना था कर लिया है, but do not stress about those small imperfections. I'm talking about small imperfections that you might have not studied. Current affairs में थोड़ा छूट गया है, something you would have missed. Most of the things you would have done, but you will stress and worry about the small imperfections. UPSC never looks for perfections. It's about accepting the imperfections so that the things that you have done come out as they should. Accept your limitations. हाँ ये नहीं हुआ है, ये छूट गया, ठीक है. Is it little risky? Yes it is. But क्या कर सकते हैं ना? You cannot do anything. Now is not the time to study that. Accept that and take that risk. अगर एक क्वेश्चन आ गया, कितना एक क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, ठीक है. It's not about that one question, it's about the remaining 99, right? So start accepting the imperfections. The next thing here is focus on the things that you can control, right? So focus on the things that you can control. There are the things that you can control and there are the things that you cannot control. You cannot control the difficulty level of the paper. You cannot ask which area questions will be asked, which topic questions will be asked, how the questions will be asked, surprises. These are not under your control. So there's one image I have added. See, what are the things that you can control? You can control your being, your beliefs, your attitude, your thoughts, your perspective, your choices, how honest you are, what books you read, how often you exercise, how you treat yourself, how many risks you take, type of food you eat, how kind you are to others, how you interpret situations, how you express your thoughts, whether or not you ask for help, how many times you smile today, who you associate yourself with, what do you do with your spare time, how do you spend or invest your money, how often you say I love you, how much time you waste worrying, the amount of effort you put forth, how often you think about your past, whether or not you judge other people, how often you give time to appreciate life, whether or not you try again after a setback. And most of the things here, most of the things are relevant from UPSC point of view. Your beliefs, your attitude, your thoughts, your perspective, how honest you are, how often do you exercise, how you treat yourself, how many risks you take, food you eat, did you smile today, especially, and most importantly, whether or not you try again after a setback, whether or not you try again after a setback. These are the only things. I think this is the best summation of the things that you can control. इसके अलावा आपके हाथ में है कुछ नहीं, nothing. It's actually an illusion that we have most of the things in our control. Actually, we have very, very limited things in our control. The world does not run on our control. वैसा होता तो everybody would have been controlling most of the things, but here it does not work. So worry about the things that you can control, and actually about the things that you can control there are no worries. We actually worry about the things that we are not able to control. When you cannot able to control, then there is no point worrying about that, my dear friends. Just let go of the things that you cannot control, embracing the uncertainty. Just embrace the uncertainty about the things that you can not control. Yes, UPSC is a very uncertain examination. What's going to happen on 16th June? You don't know, I don't know. UPSC itself doesn't know until you come after GS1 and GS2. Even after that, these days we will not know whether you are clearing prelims or no. So forget that and ready for surprises, right? I think I have stressed enough in the past year and a half that you have to be ready for surprises, and then comes the belief part. This is something that I want you guys to internalize. You can do it. Without this, given the subjective nature of prelims, you will be risking yourself. You need to believe, you need to internalize that belief कि होगा, I can do it. Because without which the level of difficult paper is and level of subjectivity is there, you are going to falter with that self-doubt. You should be marking the right option, but your overthinking is making you mark some other option because you lack the belief that you can do it. Ideally, if you had that belief, you trusted yourself, you should be marking the right option, but you are overcomplicating it in your brain, you are overthinking it, and you are marking the wrong option because you lack the belief that you can do it. You believe, you start believing in yourself, you start trusting the knowledge that you have, and you see miracles happening. It's not like major miracles, small miracles. The questions that you usually used to go wrong, you start getting it right. This is nothing rocket science. This is what practice, studies and belief does to you. You get the right answers. Without belief, you overcomplicate and you underperform. And last thing, as I've been repeating because it's very important, smile. Okay, do not stop smiling, right? That is the one thing that is under your control. And as I was telling earlier, smile is one curve that sets everything right. Next. Just before we can go to the end of the session, two things I want to tell you. Difference between achievement and success. There's a fine line, there's a fine difference between achievement and success. Success, clearing this exam, getting a top rank. Achievement, clearing this exam, getting a top rank, but that does not mean it's success. Success is much more broader than achievement. Very broad actually. Success, yes, yeah, giving your best and getting a rank, yes, definitely it's a success. Achievement is part of success, but success has more things. Giving your best, whether you give your best in prelims, mains, interview. Next, fulfillment. You should have that sense of fulfillment that you gave your best and beyond in the past 1.5, 2 years, irrespective of the outcome. Outcome can be good, bad or neutral. Next, being happy. That is success, my dear friends. There are people who get the best of ranks or best of money, loads of money, but still are not happy in life. Because clearing this exam is an achievement, not a sure shot way to happiness. You need to accept that, and most importantly, doing good in life, helping others, being kind to others which are under our control, that is success. Whether you do it as a civil servant, whether you do it as a normal person, doesn't matter. Next, health is success, having a good health, and most importantly, being loved, having a loving family, having loving friends, loving partners, that is success, not just clearing this exam. I am telling this to remove that fear of this exam that you have. So I am delineating achievement and success. Yes, clearing this exam is achievement, which is also a part of success, but success is a broader thing. Success is being loved, having health, doing good, being happy. I was telling about RCB, right? 17 साल में कुछ नहीं जीता उन्होंने, not a single trophy. But see how much we love them, how much the fans love them. We just qualified and entire Bangalore was on its streets. People celebrated even in USA by burning crackers. Trophy nahi hai, but is it a successful franchise? Yes, it is indeed. And this time we thought we'll win. We got out. But we'll again say, next Sala Cup nam de. Next year. I'm not shy of telling it. So, the point I'm trying to make here is, your parents, your friends, the people who love you, do not change the fact that they will stop loving you if you do not clear this exam. The people who love you currently, they will keep on loving you irrespective of whether you are clearing this exam, not clearing the exam. There will be no alteration in their love. So do not treat that as a yardstick that, okay, people will stop loving me, or my parents have made so many sacrifices. Every parents do. And that's why we cannot ever repay the debt of our parents, no matter what we do to them. But do not think that you are letting your parents down. If you do not clear, you will be disappointed, they will be disappointed, but they will not stop loving you, or they will not feel bad that you could not clear. As long as you gave your best and beyond, you will be happy, they will be happy, and you will achieve success in life, which is a quite broad thing. Yes, I really hope that this achievement is also part of that success, because yes, clearing this exam will be a good achievement, but just getting a rank is not success. Having health is success, having good friends, doing good, most importantly, being kind to others, helping others, whether as a civil servant or as a normal person, that is success. And do not attach your sense of self-worth to this outcome in this examination. You are much, much beyond this examination. Your self-worth is much, much beyond this examination. This exam does not define your self-worth, how capable you are. Because I have told you, there is an element of luck involved here. 10% luck at each stage, prelims, mains, interview. That has to go your way in all the stages of examination to clear. I don't know how many toppers will acknowledge that. But if somebody is a topper, that luck has gone their way in all the 3 stages. Because after getting the rank, many people stop acknowledging that. But it is there, that is the truth. And luck is something that you cannot control. You can pray for it, but you cannot control. So do not attach your sense of self-worth outcome of this examination. Your self-worth does not depend. The people who love you does not depend on the outcome of the examination. Success does not depend on the outcome. Achievement does. I hope you achieve it, and along with achievement you come to the success part as well. Now moving to how to build this mindset. Okay, last couple of slides here. Trust your instinct, trust your gut feeling, trust your knowledge. I cannot emphasize on that. Believe in your knowledge. Exercise and meditate, and use PYQs to boost your confidence. GS, CSAT. It will boost your confidence, it will make you oriented. Exercise for the body, meditation for the mind. Believe in your knowledge and trust your instinct. Do not overthink or overcomplicate. And on the last day, 15th June, be in a Zen mode like Buddha. Okay, be happy, be calm, do not worry about anything. Sleep आएगी नहीं आएगी, नींद आएगी नहीं आएगी, क्या होगा कल, nothing. Do what you feel like, whatever you feel like. Mild studies or no studies, your call. Sleep as much as possible. Visualize. Again, today only start visualizing, but 15th also I want you to spend 5 to 10 minutes on visualizing 16th. 9:30 to 11:30 for GS1, 2:30 to 4:30. Smiles. I think I have told you enough times so that you have now only internalized that you have to smile. Right? So, before we can wrap up and I can take your Q&A, one small poem that I wrote after prelims last year for my, I just put it in my essay course that I had started, which is very relevant. I just want to read it. I am a very amateur poet, okay, since a long time. Okay, so the coffee doesn't hit like before. Every day is a dread to start. After some point of time when you have studied intensively, right, everything seems very mundane, very routine, and every day it seems like a tough start. And then fixated in everything sans the movement. Like apart from focusing on the present, you are like, everywhere. You are like everywhere apart from that moment. Your mind is in the past, your mind is in the future, apart from that moment. And then there is a paraphernalia of emotions. There are way too many emotions. There are some times where you are very high, very out with confidence, happy, and then there are very lows, okay, and where you are like feeling very dejected, you are feeling not that confident, and then there will be some point of life that after facing so many lows that you get a high from that low. When you feel very dejected, you feel okay, something is going right. You are so used to getting low that you feel that when you are low, it's actually something that is going right. So used to being stressed that you feel that that is the right thing to do, and then suddenly when everything is going wrong, there is a moment, sort of an epiphany, where there is sort of a message to your brain. You don't know from where it is coming, probably from a divine intervention, probably some your subconscious. There is nothing, okay, there is no message only, but just that once that thing hits, you again start, okay, you smile, and then you're like, okay, this is what it is. And this is based on my experiences in the exam. So now we are done with the session. Now I'll take your Q&A. First I'll start with the online students who have joined me from various parts of the country. Yes, thank you everyone, Nagaraj, okay, for everything. Okay, so do let me know if you have any doubts with the entire session. Okay, otherwise we will be wrapping up the session, and offline students I can anyways meet you in the staff room. And see, there is nothing much content here. If anybody wants the PDF of this, just ping me on Telegram. I think you all have my Telegram ID, and I'll share you the PPT so that you can just go through, just like a jog your memory of what we have discussed here, and also the CSAT analysis you can do that as well. All right. So if you need that, just ping me on Telegram. That's my Telegram ID, Fariz Rahman. Okay. So apart from that, I am fine, good, but do ask relevant questions what you want to ask. Otherwise, we'll wrap up the session. So. Alright, if no doubts from online students, offline students, I will be taking your doubts in the staff room. So all the very best, okay, for 16th June 2024. Again, you have worked really hard. Focus on the things that you can control. Don't worry about the things that you cannot. And rest things, it will take care of itself. Okay. Alright, and once you are done for the mains preparation, we are here to help you out. Do drop me a text how the prelims goes, good or bad, just let me know your results. Okay, if it's good, we'll prepare for mains, we'll prepare for essays. If it's not so good, we'll see what went wrong and we'll replan and re-strategize. Do not think that अरे prelims नहीं हुआ है, sir क्या सोचेंगे? Do not. Just drop me a text. Sir, unfortunately, I could not clear. It's okay. We'll replan and re-strategize. I really hope that you do clear. Okay, that is more important. And if you do clear, feel free. We'll help you plan for your mains, especially essays. We'll try and make you best in the limited possible time. All right. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the staff room.